It's no secret, in the last few episodes of this series, I haven't had the greatest win rate. I drew against I Won't Checkmate, lost to Witty Alien and Sadistic Tushi, and my only win has come against Neandercrash. So to try and turn the tables in this episode, I've invited the strongest player that we've ever had in this series, ChessVibes. ChessVibes, or Nelson, is not only around 2,500 rated on chess.com, but also has a peak FIDE rating of 2,200 ELO, whilst mine sits at just 1,800. But hey, you guys know I'm always up for a challenge, so in today's episode, we'll be seeing the difference between a 2,300 ELO player and a 2,500 ELO national master. You'll be able to hear our thought process on every move we play, with commentaries alternating depending on whose turn it is. Once the game concludes, we'll collaboratively analyze the game to get a better understanding of each player's plans and ideas. But enough of me talking, let's get right into the game. Okay, so we are back for another episode of The Difference.
What's up, guys? I'm Nelson from ChessVibes. I'm excited for this match against Jack, and I haven't really done any preparation for this, so I didn't know what to expect. I had no idea what he even plays. D4. Okay, I have been playing the England Gambit, and I think I'm going to stick with it here.
Oh my god, okay. Wait a minute. I just made a video saying how bad I thought the England Gambit was. If he plays one of these, I'll be okay. Ooh. Okay. So he didn't play the main line of Knight C6, which I think I would have crushed. That's why I got kind of excited. He's played this variation, which really makes you want to take. I think this just transposes into like a D6 line, probably like a slightly improved version. You don't really want them to keep the center, because if you let them keep the center, you can't really win it back with a move like E4. I don't know the theory, actually. I'm just making things up. But I know that this transposes into something that I do know. So now he's taken with the bishop, and we can't develop this bishop unless we develop this knight. So I'm thinking just very early on, let's play knight F3. So he plays knight C6. The idea looks to be that he's going to pin my knights and play queen e7 or queen d7. If we play something like bishop g5, he might play f6 here and take the opportunity to attack me early. But this also doesn't really work in a lot of England gambits because it allows me to trade off this big, strong bishop. So let's play knight, or let's play bishop g5. You might be wondering how, despite not playing all the best moves in the opening, I'm extremely comfortable with the ideas and plans I'm supposed to be going for. Well, that's because I learnt my England Gambit refutation over on ChessMind.ai, who are the proud sponsor of today's video. Most courses obsess over memorizing hundreds of opening lines, but ChessMind is built around something different, understanding positions and not just remembering moves. The goal isn't just to know theory, it's to know what to do when theory runs out. That's why the courses on ChessMind only take around an hour to complete, because the priority isn't on memorization, it's positional understanding. For just $7 per month, you can unlock over 50 courses on ChessMind, plus access to their AI coach, personalized puzzles, and training videos hosted by Chilean Grandmaster Maurizio Flores. And with the link in the description, you guys can get 20% off your purchase too.
Yeah, bishop g5. So there's two ways I could do this. f6 gains me a tempo, but then we create some weaknesses that I don't know that I want to create. So I'm leaning towards just developing to block it that way. Yeah, this is interesting. F6 is tempting. The tempo gain is tempting. Then the knight has to go somewhere else. I think we just develop.
Okay, he's played knight f6. Okay, I think that's logical. Now I don't really want to play e3 because of this check again. Am I seeing ghosts with this check? No, maybe now I'm not actually, because e3, if here, I'm gonna play c3. If he takes. No, he can go back and he can defend the threat that I have. So maybe c3 is a good move. It also stops the knight from jumping in. It's a slow move is my only worry. Here, check. Knight d2. Maybe just knight d2 is going to be okay in that situation. No, I'm going to play e3.
Okay. I think we just go bishop g4 and pin the knight. Yeah, let's do it.
He plays bishop g4. So he's playing this in a way that makes it his castling plan very ambiguous, which is good for him, not for me. Because he could castle both ways right now. Usually they castle short, but I am up the pawn.
Structure, he goes for bishop e2 instead. I think that's great. I'm pretty sure I want to play queen e7. Let me just think. If knight c3 and I castle, what happens on knight to d5? We should calculate this. If I take and he takes my queen, I'm losing a queen for 2 pieces. Not going to do that. If I go check, you can't take me because I take the queen. You could play c3. If I take, what is happening there? He takes, I take, he takes, I save the bishop. What's the situation? Yeah, we would get the 2 pieces for the rook, right? Okay, so I think it should be fine. And I will have a chance.
He actually has good theory against it. So now it's pretty obvious he wants to castle long. You don't play this move if you're not going to castle long. So now I'm thinking c3 to give my queen some room. c3 castles, I'm thinking queen a4, and the idea is obviously to take, take, and take. So c3 now, opening up the queen seems like a good idea. It also stops any ideas on the b4 square. I see no reason to not play this.
Okay, yeah, I would not even, don't even have to analyze that anymore because it's obviously not going to happen. So what's the idea here? He wants to bring the queen over this way. Yeah, so he's anticipating the rook here, and he wants to get out of the file. I still think I should castle. Still an open file, even if the queen moves. Have to be a little careful with the bishop coming over. He's going to launch an attack, but I think that's okay. The other option is I just bring the rook over and I castle this way. Unfortunately, he's not castled yet. I would love to know where the king is going to be, right? If it was already over here, that would give me a clear target. It's likely, but he could change plans and castle this way. So I'm not sure if I should castle or just play rook d8. All right, let's say we castle. The queen comes most likely to a4. What's my next move going to be? Because I don't see a clear way to get to his king. Meanwhile, he's got some pretty easy and obvious things like bishop b5, like b4, b5. Yeah, I'd almost have to do something like bishop c5 and try to sack here, but I almost feel like I could do the same plan if my king is on this side. So I was going to castle queenside, but now that I'm looking at it, I think maybe I should pivot and go this way.
Okay, so he's chosen to castle short. The idea is you really don't want to enable me to play something like queen a4, I guess. And castling short is a completely normal plan. This is something that a lot of people do. Now I think I'm just going to follow suit. I don't want opposite side castling. I want to castle my king. There is such thing as castling too soon, but I think in our case it should be fine. Let's castle.
Yeah, he does castle. So unfortunately, it's a little bit harder to throw the pawns forward because my king is here. I could still do it, but that's a bit risky. I think I want to start with rook d8. That's kind of like a move that should probably just happen. Queen b3. Do I care? Knight e5. If he takes me, I mean, I don't think I'm really worried. Then I get to invade here, and I'm pretty happy. He's not going to take this, probably. Actually, there's bishop f4. Yeah, actually, I like this idea of getting the knight here. Yeah, okay. I think we start with this. I think this is a useful move to go ahead and start.
Okay, I've got a concept of a sequence. I tend to think against the Angle and Gambit. Once you survive the initial wave of attack, you should be at least entering a drawn endgame. My idea is something along the lines of knight d4, takes, takes, knight here takes. And I was thinking there might be some ideas. No, I don't think it works. I was thinking there might be some ideas with snapping off f6 first, making him take, and then going here. So maybe I should just play knight d4 first. Takes, 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 takes. The problem is I'm opening up this side of the board where the game wants to be played on this side of the board. You can tell because the bishop points here. And if I do open up this, takes, 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 there's no weakness on c7. That's a problem. So maybe I play knight d2 first. Let's go with knight d2.
Goes knight d2. So he's allowing me to create a potential pin here. We can't sack just yet. My queen was over here. We could do that, but I can't get the queen there easily. We can go really crazy and get rid of the pin and then try to jump in. Not sure if that's smart. Knight here. If he takes and I take back, there's a checkmate threat. So he's got to play probably bishop f4. Then what happens? What happens on bishop f4? I don't like that. What if I go h6 first and then here? There's still bishop g3. Yeah, the bishop just loops around. I don't like that. So what are my options? Well, we can go rook e8 just to get the rook on the file. Yeah, I don't see a clear way to do anything else. Maybe I should just do that. I guess the question for me now is, do I play h6 and make him go back? Or do I go here first? You know what? Takes knight e4 would force a whole bunch of trades. Maybe I should play rook e8. Let's do it.
Okay, I do get knight e4 in that line. That'll be an interesting one to revisit. I don't know if you guys would have seen it in the edit, but I was calculating, okay, if he plays takes, knight e4, I have takes rook here, bishop a6, rook takes b2, and knight e4 at the end of the line, hitting the bishop and hitting the knight, which is pinned. That was my idea. Now I'm looking to play knight d4. I think he wants knight d4, though. I think he's baiting it in a way. Takes. He wants here. I think I'm going to play it. I think I like knight d4 anyway. It's not a blunder. Is it? Knight d4, takes, check here. Check. No, because my queen will see it. Let's play knight d4.
So, almost looks like there might be some kind of a tactic here. Hold on a second. So if we take this and the knight takes, I don't think you want to put yourself into that. So he's probably going to take with the queen. If we take, this is pinned, so you have to take this way. Check. Remember what I said? Oh, but I can't go there. Ah, wait a second. Hold on. There's something here, guys. Let's see. Queen e5. The bishop's undefended. This is checkmate. So that actually does create two threats. The problem is knight f3, right? And even if I take, he's going to replace it with another knight. That's the problem, I think. So can I trade and then go there? No. Takes with the queen. We go here. Oh, if you play knight f3 now, I actually could take... Oh, you can play the other knight. That's kind of passive. Takes... Oh, boy. We start... The problem is this guy, right? Oh, man, it really just feels like there should be something here. Well, from what I can tell, I should probably take. The only other move that I didn't really consider would be here. Hold on. Let's just one check. This doesn't work, right? Because bishop f4... Bishop f4... Can I do this craziness? Hold on, guys. What is happening? I guess it doesn't work. Okay. Wow. Very complicated position. All right. I probably should just take this. I just feel like maybe I'm missing something, but let's not spend all my time. Let's go ahead and take it.
Okay, he takes. I'm just going to take back. Let's not even think about this. Let's think about it. Take. take. Bishop takes here. Jack. Yeah. There's nothing to think about. Let's play queen takes e2.
Let's check one more time. Do we have a tactic here? If I take, the pawn takes. Can't go there. Too bad. So we have to go first. If this knight moves, we might have it here. No, actually we don't. He just takes. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, so it doesn't work. Okay, well, knight f3. That's too bad. Takes. Check. Wait. Did I calculate this? What if I take first and then go there? Bishop f4? Oh, it's defended. It's defended. Check bishop f4. So we have to play knight here. Wait a second. Wait. Check. Okay. Check takes check. The idea is if the king moves, we just pick up the bishop. I think that actually worked. Bishop f4. We have knight d4. Might be a brilliant move. You take here. I take with a check. We come in here. Okay. I don't want to use up all my time. I think it works. Hope I'm not blundering. Let's go for it.
Did I miss that? What am I missing? Oh. Takes check here. Takes, rook takes. Huh. I have missed something. Wow, okay. Well, the good thing is he's given us 3 minutes of a time advantage. I have to take this. Do I? Yeah, we have to take. He's gonna check here, I would assume. Wait, checking here? I've got... Wait, Wait, did he miss this? Because I see bishop f4, and the idea is pretty good. Rook takes, knight takes, rook takes. He's trying to make the game weird. I think he realizes that his position is struggling a little bit, let's just say that. But like, okay, if I play f4, I'm gonna trade this off next. Is there something I'm missing? Like, I think he just hasn't calculated f4. I didn't calculate f4 when I first saw the line, to be fair. Is there something wrong? f4 takes. No. Yeah, f4 takes. I think just f4. I mean, this is also clear cut. I thought like takes. I think this is better. Like I should just be up the exchange there, but it's a little bit messy. Oh my god, I hate choices. I hate having a choice. I wish I had to play one of them. Let's look at f4 like really quickly and just make sure that's all fine. f4. You can't take it. f4 takes. Queen takes. I'm gonna play like... Let's go f4. He takes. I wonder, I probably should have thought here as well. That was probably the option to take. Wonder if I even just have this. Yeah, take. Trading queens looks good, no? Takes. Problem is, actually no, there's no problem, I don't think. Takes. Sorry, takes. This should just be convertible. He just wants the pawns. Takes, he's gonna take with the queen, and I let him off the hook, and he's just, like, I've let him keep queens on the board. I'm not letting him keep queens on the board. I've decided, maybe I don't even need to take this knight yet, because it's just pinned to the rook. Let's go knight f3, I think. Actually, we should take it. Because I don't want this check getting in. And rook b1.
He's trying to force another trade, and unfortunately, probably have to let him. We can't afford to lose another pawn here. Cannot afford to lose another pawn. So let's take it and play b6.
I'm up a pawn again, so I've just retained my whole pawn advantage. Sometimes, and this is like a really good lesson in chess, by the way, sometimes you just need to give back a little to get into, like, obviously Nelson's tried to make it complicated, but sometimes if you just give back a little bit of material, you can enter a position where you should just be much better. And I mean, in this one, I'm up a piece. I'm not even up a pawn. But converting is a different story. I don't think that this A pawn is going to be an asset to us, so bringing it forward makes sense. And there's no weaknesses. My king is in no rush to get active, I don't think.
Okay, A4. I'm going to try to bring my king this way. Okay, so he's going to give me the 2 pawns, which I think I'm happy with that. Actually, 2 connected pawns. My king is closer than his king. Knight's a little bit misplaced, so not sure about that decision. Now he comes with the king. Okay. Let's keep going with the plan. Activate the king.
Okay, now I'm thinking just... He's got this check. Here, check, king up, takes. I can't take because of rook f2, but then I've got rook b3. It's not so easy to win. I think this pawn is gonna be my saving grace in this game. Let's go king here, check, king up, takes, rook f2, rook b3, and he can't protect this pawn, and then I've got 2 passes.
Yeah, we might just abandon these guys and just go all in on this. Other option is I throw in this check and take a pawn here. Maybe I'll do that, actually.
I don't think this line is good. I think I can... I've got something here. Although maybe rook there is different, but... Yeah, I liked rook b3. Let's
bring the king up. So I'm threatening probably to go here and win a pawn. Maybe even here and then start pushing or something.
Takes here. Check. He can take here. That's annoying. But then I've got check.
Outside pass pawns going. All right, let's start with the obvious move. If we go here. Check. I take. I get forked. Can't do that. Check. I take this one. That's pretty good. We're hitting the pawn. Can't take it because of the fork, but at least we get rid of one. We have one to deal with. Okay. Other option. We go this way. He's going to move his rooks. No, that doesn't look very good. Other option. We play a5. Making use of the fact that his rook is guarding the knight. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so I think he sees that. Here, say here, I go here. Takes. King here, here, and here. So maybe my pawn just gets rolling. What about here and here there? Well, then I go rook e3. Let's go f5. I think f5 must be winning. Rook e3, right? You're cut off. I can step over here. b5 has got to come, right? The b5, f6. Now my king defends the pawn.
I don't see what else to do, guys. So if I go here, he moves the king. I go, let's just say, which one? This one? He goes, I go. He gets a queen, I get a queen. But am I checkmated, right? That's the question. Am I checkmated?
Okay, let's play king e7. Here, I go here. Here, I can probably let him queen because I've just got so much going for me. Like if he goes here, I can just check. Yeah, I think I'm good. We got 5 minutes. I'm being such a bad role model if I just play a move. Okay, let's say here. There's no sacrifice. I don't even have to think about sacrificing. But let's say here, 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 queens, queens, check, king here, check, king here, check, king here, check. Oh, this is important because now he can hide over here. King e7, b3. Oh no, he can't because he's pushed the pawn all the way down. Right. King e7 should be winning still.
So this is the moment. We have to either come over here and be ready to do this, or let's just say a3 here, here. Let him get a queen, I get a queen. The problem is I'm pretty sure I'm mated. Let's think about that. Check. Maybe I could have a queen on that square instead. So then there would be check here. And I run. Check. Then I can't walk into that. That's very bad. Nope. So we'd have to have the queen here, but then check. I don't think we make it, guys. I don't think we make it. Okay, so option one, we try to come here and down. Yeah, I have to do that. I have to do that. He's got this random check, though. Oh, that's such a nasty check. It actually stops me from using my rook. I have to go here, and then he just pushes and wins. So I can't even go that way. I have to go this way. Oh my, it just gets worse. It just gets worse, guys. Yeah, I think this is lost. All right. So I either try to get the queen and hope that he doesn't see how to checkmate me. Unlikely that's going to work. It's pretty obvious. Check, check. Take the pawn. Is it obvious? Hold on. Check. Yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious. All right, I'm going to do this.
Well, okay, I'll think about this move and then I'll say what I was going to say. Oh, okay. Do I have check? No, because he'll just come in on this way. So he wants this. This is like, he's got like a very popular video where it's like, there's what's that endgame position where you pin the pawn like this? And he's gonna sacrifice. Wow, that's a really good resource. Okay, I need to think. I actually need to think. Wait, check. Here, rook here. Damn, this makes it a lot more difficult. Here, here, I don't like that at all. And I don't want to go here. Can I go king d8? No, because then he's got rook here. Do I not have a choice? Here, takes, takes. And he starts running a pawn. Maybe I check first. Here, here, here. Rook here. King f6. No, he can't go rook g3 because my rook's in the way. So I think rook check. Here. Pawn f7. Rook g7. King here. Takes, takes. Push. 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 Rook here. King here. Pawn here, rook here, king here, takes, takes, push, 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 queens, almost queen. But he's got no checks. Oh, he's got this check. Oh, why do you make it so complicated, man? Oh my god. Okay, check here. Well, maybe there's some logic in playing this, and then check. Here, takes, push, and then I push this way. I think we've got to just play something. We're down to 1.5 minutes. That was a very big spanner in my works. Now let's play f7.
He checks first and then pushes. Interesting. Huh. Okay. I guess I have to do this, right? If I try to push, he's going to get the queen way too early. Yeah, so we have to do this.
Wait, maybe I don't even... Maybe I check here and just go d5.
Oh, okay. Now which way do I go? If I go this way, there could be a check. But then we can... Let's say check here. He goes rook c4. And I'm done. No, I have to go this way.
Just do this. d5, I'm not even gonna go for your rook.
Interesting. Okay, so what do I do here? Just push, right? Which one? This one? I mean, I have to try to push him. Okay. So I push, he pushes, I get a queen, he gets a queen with check. Mm-hmm. Or he tries to stop me. Yeah, and then I have to do this. He pushes, I push. That's a good move, actually. The problem is, if I go here, he goes here, I get a queen. He sacks his rook, and he still gets a queen. So the only thing I can try is this, but then he's going to go there. I go there, he still gets a queen before I do. If I go here, no, he takes my pawn. I can't do that. I think we just lost. We can... No, we can't even do that because this queen. Yeah. I mean, I knew it was a long shot, so I'm not surprised that it didn't work. I thought we could maybe make something happen. I'm also used to playing 10-minute games with no increment. So, like, time pressure is a real thing in the games that I play, and it's just not the same here. There is no time pressure with 15-second increment. Yeah, I think it's over. Well, let's see. I don't know. It's lost. I'll play it out, but it's over.
I could have fallen for something there. Okay, I think just d7, a2, and queen.
Yeah, I didn't calculate very well. Okay.
Okay, so queen's here. There's got to be a mate somewhere, right? I mean, I can go here, 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 and let him queen. And I can get check. There's got to be something. It might be easier with this move. Here, take. Check. Actually, check might be easier. No, maybe it's easier like this. Here, queen. Oh, and no matter what he queens with, I'm just going to checkmate him, right? Is that checkmate? Yeah. Right? Here, queen, checkmate. I don't think where the rook actually goes matters. Although now maybe he has this, but... Threatening mate in 1.
Should I sack this now or not? It might get picked off by a queen check, so I should probably sack it, right? I should probably sack it because I could... yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely going to get picked off right away, actually. So we better get rid of that pawn. And then... Oh, that's checkmate. Oh no, it's just checkmate, guys. It doesn't even matter. Huh. I didn't see this. Thinking knight. Okay. Yeah, it's over. Let's see. If we try to run, he's still going to go there. He takes everything. All right. Look at the queen. Let him checkmate us.
Very nice. We can deliver checkmate. And that's, wow, the best game I played on this series. Let's go. Okay, we'll jump into an analysis with Nelson, and I will see you guys then.
Good game.
Amazing. There's a couple of key moments. I think that that bishop sack, and then there was a moment in the end game which I thought you had a really nice try that I thought might have been a draw if I played it wrong. But we'll get to that later. Yeah,
I didn't see at the very end. I didn't see anything. I was trying every trick I could think of, but I think I was just over after the bishop sacrifice. I totally missed f4.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if there was another defense other than f4. I thought you could drop your bishop back as well. So yeah, I'm pretty familiar with these Anglin gambits. This is like just a transposition of the Hot Lab Charlotte, right? Where I guess it's like slightly improved. But I knew that you could take. I also was thinking you could probably play e4, but I was like, okay, I want to stay in something I know. What's your main ideas like with the Hot Lab Shah? Like, is it kind of just to castle short? Because I thought you were going to castle long at some stage as well.
Yeah, no, I wanted to castle long, and then I changed my mind because I wasn't sure if you were castling that way or not, to kingside, and I didn't know, like with queen a4 and bishop b5, I just felt like the king wasn't going to be safe on the queen side. I kind of made a last minute decision to do that. And initially the plan was to go queenside.
Yeah, so like we can probably skip over some of these developing moves. I also thought f6 is sometimes a try, but I know that if you try to attack too soon, you kind of just trade off your good bishop. So this is nothing. So knight f6 made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I thought about it.
I was actually also even considering, what if this? And I thought if you play c3, I lose castling rights, and this is maybe not the game I want to play. I thought this was also a choice for black. Maybe not because you're down the pawn. So
yeah, I didn't even think about it. I didn't want to trade queens. Didn't even cross my mind to do that.
So I think knight f6 is the logical kind of move. And then I was even thinking of playing c3 here because I think I was just seeing ghosts with this move, but I ended up playing e3, and then we can skip forward again. These are just all very basic. Actually, I missed something here. Apparently, this is like not a great move, bishop e2. You should be playing knight c3. I typically don't love playing knight c3 because like the bishop kind of gets over to b4, and you're going to double your pawns, and you're giving black something in a game that I think they should almost have nothing. You know, you're up the pawn, you don't want to give anything back. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing with that is like it allows you to trade queens if I do play bishop b4, and then I think that is nice since you have the pawn.
Yeah, but I think like the longer the game goes without queens on the board, and like let's imagine this position, right, where I play this, and I play, I don't know, bishop here. Like the longer this stays on the board without queens, I feel like the more chances you have of winning. Maybe I'm like there's just easily knight d4, but I feel that this is a big enough weakness to kind of make up for the lack of the pawn in a way. Maybe it's just there's not enough ways to kind of take advantage of these doubled pawns, but I feel like the longer they exist, the more chance you have of kind of picking one up. So
yeah, that's true. It's interesting. Yeah.
So bishop e2. Yeah, and then queen e7, I was like, okay, it's a clear indication that he wants to castle long. But I thought about this line. I thought here castles. I didn't think that queen a4 was actually so good, because usually in these kind of lines, there's bishop d7. Obviously, if nothing, the idea is to take, and you're going to win the free piece with danger levels. But I thought in these kind of positions, typically nothing comes up. Like, you can't really play this because they're going to play a6, and this is just drawn now. So you've really just got to be patient with it, I guess. And this is not so bad for white anyway. Like, a6 is still going to come. Oh, and then you castle long. This is what you were worried about.
Yeah, see, I would never play a6 there because, like, now you're going to play b4, b5, and I really don't like my position.
Right, so maybe king b8 instead?
Yeah, and I don't even know if I would have played bishop d7. I mean, that's why I didn't want to play bishop d7 and a6 and moves like that. So I'm like, I just think I'll just castle the other way instead.
So
But yeah, I mean, clearly I made the wrong decision, so I probably should have gone for something like this.
I feel like 50% of the time in these kind of positions, it's like 50-50 whether they castle short or long. I think that's the good part about the angling. It's so flexible. You can kind of play both ways, and it's fine for black. Well, not like engine fine, but like practically speaking, you can play these pretty competently. So short castles, you don't really want to be castling long for no reason for white, so castling short as well. And then this pressure kind of started building mainly on this queen file, right? I was kind of seeing ghosts with a lot of things. I was thinking one line that I really went deep into was, what if you take here? I was thinking takes, maybe there's knight here. My line was bishop takes, here, takes, and knight e4. And I thought this looked good for white, which it is, which I'm very glad. Was that ever a consideration to take on f3? Because I know that this...
No, I didn't know. I didn't even think about trading on f3. No.
Right, so you kind of only had...
It just feels like it activates your bishop and loses the bishop pair for not really any compensation, so I didn't even consider
Because my thought process was, you've got like these big ideas on h2, which you eventually went for, and like obviously this doesn't work because you'll just take my queen. So if you can get me to remove my defender of h2, maybe something will pop up. Like maybe there'll eventually be something here. But yeah, I guess there's just nothing, so it doesn't really work out. So rook f8 was nice. Knight d4. Takes, and then this move. Yeah, it just doesn't work, I guess. I guess you're just supposed to kind of play... Because I think this is actually not such a bad position to play, because the open file doesn't look at a weakness because of the bishop. I guess you can argue as white you'll drop back and get rid of this this bishop, but I thought that this position was a lot more playable. I guess it's kind of just the longer you go without doing something crazy in the angling, the further you'll get into a drawn endgame, or not a drawn endgame, just a losing endgame, right? So you've got to do something at some stage.
Yeah, no, I just totally missed f4. I thought so, and actually, let's see. If you take and play bishop f4, does that even work? It actually does work for you, doesn't it?
I spent like a little while on this move. I was kind of debating, and I was so annoyed. I was like, why do I have the choice here? Why do I have to make the choice of bishop f4 or f4? But they're both winning. So like here, takes.
No, I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I wasn't gonna take the bishop. I was gonna play knight takes d4 right here.
Okay, knight takes d4.
What were you gonna play against this?
Oh wow. Okay, I was not gonna play queen d. Actually, maybe I would have stopped to think about queen d1, but I guess queen d1 is the only, and you've got two pieces hanging.
Okay, yeah, I did not look at queen d1. So I thought you take my queen, I take your queen, and I'm fine. I thought if you take my knight, now I can take your bishop and I'm fine.
This is one of those moves where I didn't. I feel like there's a slight chance that I probably would have just pre-moved this, and like not even thought about it. I didn't really even consider this for some reason. I think if it happened, I would like to think that I would think about it for a little bit longer, but f4 just seemed a little bit more appealing to me anyway, because there's a bunch of variations with f4 as well, where you can choose whether or not to trade off the queen. So like f4 takes. You've got choices here, right? You've got like knight c4, you've got knight f3, you've got bishop takes, you've got pawn takes, and I really like the choices here. So my first thought was this, keeping the queens on and then playing something like knight c4. I thought was very appealing. The knight gets up here, and even though you have checks, the king is very safe. I thought this was nice, but then I was like, okay, let's force the issue. I've got to be confident in my endgames. This is like probably the faster route to a result in the game. So I was like, okay, let's trade off the queens, trade off the knight, make a weakness here, and knight f3 is a really solid move, and this pawn is kind of going to be my golden child in this game.
Yeah. I thought I was going to get a little more counterplay at the end here, but it just didn't work out that way.
I think from this position, I was saying to myself, okay, there's just absolutely no counterplay. And then once we could skip forward a little bit, we got into this position when I got here, and I think, c takes is best. I was kind of questioning whether or not a takes or c takes, because this does make two pass pawns, but it also gives me a pass pawn, so it's kind of double-edged, I guess. But after we did...
Yeah, I thought I had, at least now I have something to work with the A and B pawns.
Yeah.
I think if you don't push that, I didn't have anything. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do.
I was kind of concerned here as well, because I was like, well, you've got an active king, how do I make progress? Like, it actually, I'm like, wow, I'm running out of pawns a little bit here. So I had to go and do something. So king g3 was my only logical idea to kind of go forward. And then after king d6, I thought this was I thought maybe king e6 was better. What happens if king e6? Because king e6 kind of stops my plan to go up here, and it kind of achieves the same thing, I guess. But maybe there's like rook b5.
Yeah, no, I underestimated how fast the f pawn was going to push. Because I thought, okay, if you spend all the time to bring your king up there and take those pawns, by the time you do that, I can start pushing my a and b pawns.
Yeah.
And then when it happened in the game, it was just like, no, I just didn't have time to do everything I was thinking I was going to have time to do.
Yeah, I think things look a lot faster when the king is involved in an endgame. Like, if it was a rook that had to come and sweep up all these pawns, it would have been slower. But considering the king wants to be at this end of the board anyway, I thought it was not so bad. And I wasn't too worried about giving away this pawn because I knew that my rook could come up to b3. And this is when things get a little bit tricky. Because king d5, I was thinking, okay, there's probably a lot of lines where I can sacrifice this knight and this pawn just runs. So like, whilst I could have been extra safe with rook e3, I thought that this was more hyper accurate. Because if this happens, I was thinking, okay, I probably just have f5, right? f5 here.
Can you not just play knight g5 check there?
Knight g5 check drops the pawns. So
no, it's oh, the d pawn you want to take?
Yeah,
I see.
king d, and like, I think it's okay, but like, I calculated this line, I thought it was okay, but I thought that it just...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going for. I think I would have done this. Like, this was what was in my head, and I thought that this line looked okay, but yeah, maybe this was a better try from black. Yeah, I don't know.
But if f5 works, then you don't even have to.
Yeah,
do
f5.
That. Wait, so f5. Why can't I not just take it with my king? What's the
d5
threat?
And the king has no space to get in. Like, if you come back, I play d6, and the rook can just never get over. So, you know, even if you take, I've got a rook, and the pawn runs. So you've just got no space
fascinating.
to get in. Yeah, it's kind of a...
And if I go like rook f1 instead of moving my king, go back one move.
Rook f1,
yeah,
d6.
rook f1. You're gonna
rook here. I didn't think this far ahead actually, but I would have just imagined, yeah, king e7 is probably...
Yeah, the king just supports. Huh, that's
but
fascinating.
Maybe this is...
Yeah,
this
those pawns, the f and the d pawns.
Yeah, maybe this is a good try there. I think, you know, if you got like one extra move, maybe this would be a different story. Like, because like, you can sacrifice your rook, and then my king is just too far away from everything to kind of stop it, but maybe not. So yeah, king e4 probably a little bit of a better try. I think it just looks a little bit too clear cut, right? It's probably, you were thinking, oh, there's not enough room for chaos if I play king e4. This looks somewhat straightforward, but I think it's maybe not
yeah,
so much.
And I didn't like knight g5 either. I just thought it was good enough for you and pretty easy line.
I like a5 there, a5, and then yeah, the pawn just starts getting away so quickly. A3. We'll actually skip forward a little bit to this move, where rook g2. So there's that famous endgame that's like kind of similar to this, where you can't play f7 because the pawn gets pinned, and this gets a little bit dicey. So I did think king f7, king f6. I thought that this endgame looked a little bit strange. Like, I wasn't exactly sure how I was gonna do it. But I guess you just can't ever really... What's the continuation here? Like, I guess what if you don't find rook e5 and play like king e7, b2, and knight d2? Okay.
I think I thought you were just gonna bring the knight to d2, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna get through.
Yeah, I guess so. And yeah, the king is just completely cut off. Okay, so maybe I was seeing ghosts a little bit. I thought the way I played it was super hyper accurate with rook e5. And then f7, because I was like, okay, you're gonna win my pawn anyway. What's the point of playing king f6? This just wastes a tempo because I've got a recapture, right? So I'm giving the turn back to black. So I may as well never do this.
Sorry, so why did you play rook e5 for? Like, why did you throw in that move before pushing the pawn?
Because I knew that I wanted to rotate the rook around this way. And I thought that defending from above made more sense than defending from below. So, like, if I play... Well, also I wanted to play d5. Like I wanted to run this pawn up the board.
Oh,
But like,
interesting.
I guess the difference is like you don't allow something like king c5. I don't know if that's really a problem, but it just felt like it did more like after this.
Yeah, because initially I thought you were gonna play rook g5 to try to cut off my rook from going to g7.
Yeah,
but
rook g.
Then I was thinking I just trade it and push the
Rook
pawn.
g5. I was kind of worried. What was I worried about? I thought just check. Actually, wow. Yeah, maybe I should have just played this.
No, I would have taken it and then played like a3 or b3.
Yeah, I guess just I'm faster, right?
And then I thought you weren't gonna checkmate me now without the rook on the board.
Is there a checkmate? I guess because you can't take this pawn because of the check. But where do you actually go? Check. Yeah. Wow. And the engine really just wants you.
Well, it's still winning for you, but yeah, it's
I,
that's gonna be kind of hard to calculate.
Yeah,
all that.
I wasn't trying to do all that. But yeah, I thought that this was a lot safer. Kind of just like it just felt like it gave you nothing, and it ended up not giving you anything. So it was a nice end game. I think this is probably the, and then we got that checkmate at the end, which is nice. That's probably my best game in the series so far. I've had a lot of bad ones. I even I had I want checkmate on last, and we drew. So this is like the complete polar opposite to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good game. Nice having you on.
Yeah, good game.
If you guys...
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
No worries. If you guys want to check out ChessVibes, I'll leave the link in the description to his channel. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you all in the next one.